attention. I don't think she'll notice me no more. She parties all the time, sipping those finest wines and such. I don't think she'll remember me no more. So I'll be waiting all day, all night. I'll be waiting for her all the time, through the pouring rain or the sunshine. I'll be waiting for her all the time. Ooh, na 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 na. When I'm with you all day, all night, I'll be waiting for her all the time. Since she moved on and she found him, I've been aching, my heart is rusted. So I'm on my own shit. Been the same dog barking up the same tree. I need her out of my life, I need her out of my head. Painting a picture that I'm better off dead. I hope he's treating her wrong, but hope she's been treated right. I love you and I hate her at the same time. I'll be waiting, I'll be waiting all day, all night. I'll be waiting for her all the time, through the pouring rain or the sunshine. I'll be waiting for her all the time. Ooh, na 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 na. When I'm with you all day, all night, I'll be waiting for her all the time. Things that got the best of me, none worse than when you said it's over. My heart's forever broken, and that's why I'll be never sober. Every little thing that I said, I play it all back in my head. And every little thing that went wrong, I'd give it all to go back again. Every little thing that I said, I play it all back in my head. And every little thing that went wrong, I'd give it all to go back again. Hey, all day, all night, I'll be waiting for her all the time, through the pouring rain or the sunshine. I'll be waiting for her all the time. Ooh, na 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 na. When I'm with you all day, all night, I'll be waiting for her all the time. Things that got the best of me, none worse than when you said it's over. My heart's forever broken, and that's why I'll be waiting for her all the time. If I need her.
What happened?
Hello, 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 hello out there. What's going on, everyone? Hi, Dave. How are you?
Hola.
How you
Sorry, I was checking my connection. I was getting concerned.
doing? Oh boy.
Now
Well,
we're
I don't see normally if there's an issue with like a connection on one of our
Mic
things, like a
connection.
bar shows up. Oh,
Mic
my
connection. Yeah.
Are you getting that little tick 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 crap? that happens?
Slightly, and it's pissing me off. So that's why I'm like looking at it.
I'll let you know if you sound like shit. So
Yeah.
I'm here for you. I am here for you.
I
So
appreciate
anyway, hello everybody. How are you doing? It's the 22nd of October today. We're getting closer to Halloween. We're inching closer to that. We're inching closer to Election Day. Lots of big things going on. I'm inching closer to being on vacation, and then Dave's going to be holding it down on his own.
Mhm.
Don't know what the fuck Dave's going to do, but he's going to do something.
I'll figure something out.
Anything. But overall, we hope everyone's had a good day today, and we hope that you're going to hang out with us and have a pretty good night before we go to bed, because eventually everyone goes to sleep except for some people. I feel like some people, they stay on fucking YouTube and just watch lives of people that are still on. Like, I really feel like people survive.
I could find myself
and,
doing that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's an issue.
like you'll sit there and like you'll go like, I know like sometimes like Vera or Savvy or someone will be like playing the game
Either
forever.
if I find myself in the feeling of staying up way too damn late, it's mainly because I have something live or a podcast I missed on one screen,
Yes.
and I'm playing usually Slay the Spire or some type of fucking like something that's got me addicted just for a while. Because I mean, Slay the Spire has been the most recent, because I'll hop on and off, and I need to hop off that thing every so often because I'll just be playing it for way too damn long.
Well, I mean, that's why some games are addicting and they're made well.
Mhm.
And Slay the Spire happens to be one of those games. So let's get into the fun stuff quickly and early. We appreciate everyone out there watching, anybody that's listening in podcast form. If you are watching on X, do your thing, repost, share this. If you're watching on Facebook, follow us and share it. And if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe to the show, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. Because word of mouth is the best way that we come in. Squiggles, what's going on? How are you? I see you over there. We appreciate that. When that happens, it's usually a music rabbit hole to you. Yeah, music rabbit hole do that too. You know what I find myself doing, Squiggles, with that, and I'm gonna reveal my more nerdiness. It'll usually be like anime themes that I like, and then it'll be like other shows that I like, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot about this theme, and that's kind of where I find, and then it'll like squeak into some other shit. The algorithm is dangerous, man. It is super dangerous. But I'm going to go through my preamble so then we can get to all of our stories of the night here. As always, Epstein client list. Let's keep making noise about it. Anyone and everyone that has young girls and has a mother, has a sister, has anyone like that, should be screaming to the high heavens every single day. Where's the Epstein client list? And a minor update on that, Dave. Apparently, Trump said he would release the client list if elected.
I hope so.
So he said that everything on a campaign stop, that he would let that out if elected. So we might be answered. So on that note, we're going to skip to something. So because the Epstein client list is important, we should be yelling about it. We should be forcing it out there. And everyone here should be commenting on all your favorite YouTubers and things like that and saying, hey, let's go. Let's get this out there. But on that note, we need to go out and vote. We need to win some votes, because if that's the case, if Trump is absolutely going to release that, then it's really fucking important that we get out and we vote. Dave,
if you found MF Doom recently, oh, you're gonna have some fun. If you found, I don't know if it's recent, but if you found him recently, you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Anyway, yeah, you'll have a lot of fun if you found MF Doom recently. It's gonna be a good time for you. But yeah, so we need to get out there. We need to vote, because that's one of the many reasons to vote for Trump. He's been putting out a lot of really good campaign policies, a ton of libertarian ones in terms of taxes. And then this one's just good for the soul of the country, to find out who the dirtbags are and they can get arrested. So David's already volunteering to go and work his election poll as long as he's accepted, which is fucking sweet. He's putting his money where his mouth is, and we appreciate that, doing his duty. And make sure you go out and early vote. If you early vote, if you have it eligible now, do not wait. Do not be one of those people that's like, election day only way. Like, don't do that, because we've seen the shit that they try to pull, and especially if you're in a swing state. Go get it documented. Go make sure that you vote and that it's already counted. And apparently right now, in all like the battleground districts, the Republicans are super happy with the early voting turnout right now. We're doing our job, but it's not enough. If you're listening now and you are watching and you haven't done it, don't rest and sit and say, well, I think we got this one in the bag. Instead, find out that one friend that has been leaning Trump.
Try to bring someone with you.
Find out that one friend it's been kind of leaning Trump, or they've noticed the bullshit with Kamala, and just they're like, fuck it, I hate Bolton, I'm not going to vote. Convince that person to get out there and vote, because you know what? If they know which way you lean, you pulling them there may lean them towards Trump. They might go and might backfire. They might vote Kamala, but get them out to the poll, because we just need people out there. So let's get to it. Find somebody, bring somebody. And kind of be excited about voting, because this isn't the lesser of two evils. This is Trump is a better choice, period. Sometimes you could say lesser of two evils. This is Trump is a better choice. Kamala's a terrible candidate. She's not a good person, it seems like. And we just need to get someone in there that's good. So, Squiggles, I'm happy you'll be voting this week. And on paper is absolutely fucking important. It's great. Nate, good to see you out there. What's going on, man? So we'll go into the other thing.
Do you find it a little weird when people take the picture of their ballot with the things colored in? I don't know. I just find it like, I would think it's more proper. Just take a picture of the sticker you get.
It's weird. It's your choice to reveal your vote.
Yes, 110%. It feels weird to me seeing that.
You want to know what's the worst part, though? It would be different if it's someone that I was like, I didn't know how they were going to vote, right?
Yeah, because it's all people that I know where they stand.
Yeah, it's like
that's why it's just like
Alex Brucewitz putting it out there that he voted for Trump. Like, no fucking shit, you're going to vote for Trump, right? Like, that's not surprising. Like, now, before RFK and Tulsi announced, and which is incredible, Tulsi announced she is joining the Republican Party.
Yes,
which
today,
is,
I think, right?
Yeah, today. She announced today she's joining the Republican Party. So welcome, Tulsi, to the evil, the lesser. The quite literally, Republican Party is the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, well,
they fucking suck too.
As I say, depending on where they're going, sometimes.
But
They're pretty fucking bad.
that's also important because this now sets up Tulsi to get back either into Congress or to run for a governorship, and she'd be running as a Republican and a very popular one.
Yep.
So she actually would have a shot at something in terms of notoriety in Hawaii. Isn't that where she was from? Right? Yeah, she was Hawaii. I thought. No. Yeah, I believe she was one of the Hawaiian
Hawaii
representatives.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So her name would be great to put out there, and she's a threat to that very blue stronghold that they have out there if it is Hawaii. So that would be awesome. We just need to form a new party. Squiggles, I've talked about that before about wanting to form a new party. And you know what, Squiggles? There's two ways to go about this. Huh?
Yeah, Hawaii. It's not easy.
So the number one, it's not easy. You can do it. You can battle, but you have to have shit you stand for, number one. And you have to get rich and powerful people to back you and differentiate yourself. Because you can't just be, because conservatives are going to spit conservative ideals. It's what they do during elections. If you come out with a real conservative party and just spit out similar ideals, people are going to go with what they know. So you'll be fucked in that sense. The second way, and the way that I think we need to go about it, Squiggles, and I think everyone, and MAGA party won't work because it's too.
And I will say, MAGA party is kind of just taking over the Republican Party at this point.
And it's too much of a mosaic because once it gets picked, a lot of the people that joined will go back to being Democrats.
Yeah. And you also see that a lot of the older Republicans complain about MAGA taking over the Republican Party. So it is kind of just a process that's already been happening.
It's a populist movement. It's more than just a MAGA party. And these happen. Now, my idea, Squiggles, and kind of what the MAGA party is doing is infiltrating from within. Get involved in your political process, local, because if you join your local committee, not only do you have a say in your local politics, you have a say in your state politics because you have to meet these state electors and things like that. And your congressman and congresswoman, you'll shake hands with them. They come to your committee meetings or your county committee meetings. So get involved there so then you have a say. And I feel like that's important. Get involved in what's going on so then we can figure out any of these rhino motherfuckers and primary them, because that's the first thing we got to do. Before we defeat Democrats, primary the people that suck and get them out of there. Your Lindsey Grahams, your Mitch McConnells, your John Thunes, your fucking eye patch McCain motherfuckers. Like, we need to get these guys out of there. Degeneration X party, suck it. I feel like Steve Carell and Bruce Almighty.
Tiny little nipples went to France.
but that
I would like a Degeneration X party. We might have missed a boat on that, though.
No, I don't know. You can always bring it back. Could you imagine Triple H would jump right on that? So would HBK.
Well, I mean, like,
you would be at rallies and you point at chicks and they have to show you their tits. Like, I'm in for this, actually.
The rejuvenation of them was fun. Though I think the best segment that they had when they came back when they were older was when Shawn Michaels was mad and he just kicked Stan. See, I just kicked Stan. And he went down the hallway just super kicking everyone.
That was great. Oh, man. We have to primary fakes for sure. Yes, we do. We have to get them out of there. You know, when it's basically just go on the what is it? The one website that has the Liberty scores for all the congressmen.
Yeah, hold up.
We just go by that, and you call him Placidius Snake.
That's a good one.
That's a really good fucking name, Placidius Snake, because he has the eye patch. But that's giving him too much credit calling him Snake. I don't want to. I think it's like liberty.gov or something like that. There's a
Liberty Score .conservative review.
Yes, it's a CR one. So, and I know there's another one out there, but honestly, basically, we should start really primarying the bottom of that group. Like, it's really not hard. Whoever has a fucking terrible Liberty score should be gone. That's it. Like, you have your top guys, you have your Jim Jordans, your Byrons, your Matt Gates, and your your ones that are up there, your Boberts. Those are all safe, right?
Kinzinger is actually higher than I thought he would be.
Who is?
Kinzinger.
I mean,
guess his percentage.
It's percentage, and
no, can you guess it?
Oh, guess his percentage? I'd say 33%.
Holy 34%. Wow, you're fucking good. That's a good one. That's a good guess.
That was solid.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is about Kinzinger? There was a point in Congress where he wasn't a fucking weasel neck liberal faggot. And I had to say it. We're already off. We're off YouTube. I don't care. It's fucking Kinzinger. I hate that guy. And I pulled the Melanie Mac, not giving a shit. But overall, like, he actually was decent at one point and voted Everything. Check Babin while you got it up. Check Babin, David. What's Babin's first name?
Brian.
I mean, there's probably not another congressman named Babin. So.
79%.
He would leave.
Gotta
I
see.
say anyone under 80% should be unsafe.
Gotta
Every
see.
single person under 80% should be at a chance of primarying, because if you can't vote 80% conservative, then you're fucking useless. So, but yeah, 79%. I'm actually surprised Babin got that high.
Yeah.
Is Kinzinger your guys' congressman?
No. I just saw him. He's just
no.
the top of the list now.
Yeah.
I just was looking at it.
My congressman over here in New York is unfortunately Pat Ryan. I'm hoping Allison Esposito can pull the upset. Her polling's gotten a lot closer, so she's getting close, but the Democrats are pouring a fuck ton of money. We had Allison on the show a few months ago now. And definitely go check out that show. Allison's amazing. I really, really want her to win.
Biggs got 100%.
Yeah, Biggs is fucking incredible. Biggs.
Okay, I'm gonna get off that.
Yeah, get off of that. We could do. Maybe we could do we'll do a segment one day on like the bottom ones, and we can like call out their primary. And after this election cycle, we're gonna start we're gonna call it the primary cycle. After this November, when I come back from vacation, we are starting the primary cycle, and we'll start from like the bottom 5 or 10. And every episode, like we'll call out 5, and we'll make sure we get these motherfuckers on blast, because the primary cycle needs to start. And I don't care if it's like they're not up yet. Don't care. Start it now. Find the candidate now. Like, I don't care if they have another 6 years as senator, they just won. Fuck them. Find the candidate. Like, we need to do it, because the ones that are long-standing, we need to find candidates. But I haven't even been able to get through my preamble, so let's go.
What were you on? I thought you were done.
No. So for Hilton victims, Hilton, the Hiltons,
Milton and Helene.
Paris Hilton made us all victims. Stupid spoiled bitch from South Park. Anyway, we need to continue to help the Hurricane Helene and Milton victims. Do not stop, doing what you can for them. If you already have done, thank you. We appreciate it. But if you have not, all I'm asking for, donate $1. $1 to your favorite charity. And if you can convince everyone else around you to give $1 and then have them convince it, you're now getting thousands of dollars. And then branch it out to all Trump supporters. We're in the millions. So that would go huge to help your fellow Americans. I'm also asking you to spare a second $1. I know $2 in this economy is really fucking hard to spare. I'm not going to lie. But that second $1, I want you to donate to Moms for Liberty. Moms for Liberty is a great organization. Tina Deskovich, Tiffany Justice do fucking great work. And all the moms out there and all the chapters, they're brave as hell, because they are getting destroyed in their communities until they start to raise the alarm. But they need money in order to keep these chapters going. They need money to get people on boards, in state houses, in Congress, local places. So please, if you could donate $1, and once again, convince everyone around you. If they're a Trump supporter, tell them they should donate to Moms for Liberty. If they don't know what the fuck that is, point them to our show and our interview with Tina Deskovich, and they can find out. They should be supporting them. Lastly, Alex Jones, InfoWars peeps, you're always welcome here as they start to limit your free speech. But let's keep going. What did you say? What did Nate say here? I've always thought that should be done with these god-awful judges. Yeah.
The judges.
Yeah, the judges suck. There should be but the thing is, that one's tough. The Liberty score is easy because it's a bunch of conservatives and professed conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would have to be like a congressional score, which views are in line with the constitutional, which are in line with the Constitution. But with the way the Constitution's been skewed, they will argue and be like, "Oh, that website's not true because the Constitution's a living, breathing document. Don't you know that?" So that's what you would get there. Squiggles trying to get Brendan Herrera to run for the Senate instead of the House, so everyone in the state can vote for him. I agree with that. Actually, might have been a better play.
Not a bad idea. It depends.
But here's the thing that's also tough for Brendan. And if you're looking at House and Senate, House, you're in a section, so you maybe would need $5-6 million.
Yeah.
Senate, if the Republicans aren't backing you, if Mitch McConnell's not throwing money behind you, ask McMaster, was it in Arizona?
No, Blake Masters.
Blake Masters, yes. Ask Blake Masters how hard it is to be a rookie with no money, and he got close. As much as we like Brendan,
fucking good, man.
He was fantastic, and I hope he still comes back around. I really want him to come back around. But Brendan Herrera has a lot of name recognition, and he did really good in his House race.
It's pretty fucking close.
I think he lost by 4 points or something like that, or 7 points. It wasn't far. But the Senate's a different animal, because if you're not raising $15-20 million, just for your Senate race. And if you don't have the backing of your national party, which Brandon Herrera would not have that backing because he's a real conservative and not a fucking loser, he would have a real uphill battle to fight. He didn't get it. He got outspent with just the grassroots he had from fans. So it would take a lot more from fans to help him. And it would be a national thing, not just the people in a state. All right. So keep it simple. If you let violent criminals off, you suck. But Nate, what is a woman? That's the real question. And after Herrera makes his belt-fed 4-4, we're going to need a lot of them to fight Skynet.
110%, dude. It's gonna be. We're gonna have to fight against the Optimus robots that Tesla's making. Unfortunately,
and they're just cooked by all the wacko Californians that have moved in.
Dogs.
You know what though? That's no fucking excuse because Florida had a ton of wacko motherfucking New Yorkers move in, and DeSantis has figured out a way to like fucking whip the shit out of them and put them in line.
Well, it was the first race was close with DeSantis, and I would say Gilliam found like passed out with a bunch of drugs and all that stuff. That story, I think, actually he ended up helping DeSantis a lot.
And Trump going out and saying like, "Hey, DeSantis is the guy." Honestly, those two need to do more in kissing and making up because man, I know right now Trump doesn't need DeSantis on it, and maybe DeSantis wouldn't have been great to stump for him after like the battle they went through. But I really hope that if Trump wins, that we just see so much unity between those two that they are in lockstep with everything they do. Or even if he sits there and promises DeSantis a cabinet seat when he's done as a governor, I would love that because DeSantis has been fantastic. Even if he fucking goes and runs like, I don't know, like part of the FCC or something like that, because he's really good with fucking with all those things or something cultural because DeSantis is fantastic in the culture war. So there we go. All right. So let's get to our stuff, Dave.
Okay. So sorry, I blanked out for a second.
Yeah, you just fucking need a reboot.
Yeah, hey, sometimes you just need a reboot. You know? So big drop today.
Yes,
by Paul D. Thacker and Matt Taibbi on their Substack. This is just a short thread before linking to the Substack, but it was showing that the Center for Countering Digital Hate in England, part of the Labour Party,
English,
has been collaborating with Kamala and Biden to quote unquote kill Musk's Twitter through advertising focus, which meaning harasses advertisers, which is not necessarily a surprise. That's kind of how everyone pretty much predicted they would try to go after Twitter. Because
they're in the government, could this be a treasonous act because they're going against a private organization and a private citizen?
Well, I mean, it could be foreign election interference. But the Internal Center for Countering Digital Hate document shows their annual objective is kill Musk's Twitter, right here highlighted.
That's
with advertising focus, trigger EU and UK regulatory action, which is that's crazy. That's right there. Progress towards change in USA and support for Star.
Well, because they have laws in both the EU and UK for hate speech, so you'd be triggering the hate speech laws, and from there it would be part of the killing Musk Twitter. And we've seen other countries try to go down on Musk, being like, "Hey, we're going to hold you to our law," and Musk is like pissed off. I'm an American citizen. I'm an American company. You can fuck off.
And I'm part of Voice launch Friday, 31st of May. U.S. policy engagement set up meetings with Klobuchar's team. So there's a lot of people involved in this.
Yes.
Next tweet.
And this has to be back when Klobuchar was fairly popular as a presidential candidate.
Yes. And I think she still has a lot of influence.
Oh, she still has a lot of polls. I wouldn't be surprised if she runs again.
Oh, yeah.
She does have a lot of popularity in that party.
Yes. So the CCDH held a private conference with a slew of liberal groups organizing against Musk, including Biden White House, Congressman Adam Schiff's office, Biden-Harris State Department officials, Canadian MP Peter Julian, and Media Matters for America. Now, when you see Media Matters, you're getting some really credible stuff there.
And you're getting Soros money. That automatically means Soros money, which is not surprising.
Yes. And the next Center for Countering Digital Hate, the CCDH, I don't know why he's going back and forth on that, gets a lot of money from Hollywood. Staff say that one of the donors is singer Selena Gomez, a client of Aline Keshishian. Yeah. And then finally it goes to the Substack, which has more, and there's more stories. But this is a pretty fucking big drop. It's more of confirming things that we already kind of suspected in anyway. Like the same thing when Elon first got Twitter and there was the Twitter files and everything, where it's a lot of just confirmation of, okay, we know certain things are most likely happening. here's how it's actually happening.
And I think this just furthers the want and need and the clamor for the Doge department to be created, with Musk running it. And I think that's Department of Governmental. What's the E stand for?
Hold up.
I
Keep
know,
going.
but I just loved it. It was fucking called the Doge department, and we're going to call it that. But it's needed because then Musk can dive into this type
Department of Government Efficiency.
There you go. And then you could dive into this type of shit. So who do you say, Gaylord Fokker? Thanks, Nate. Didn't Elon and Rumble just win a major lawsuit against an advertising cartel? I don't know that.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I know they were in the middle of one, and I don't
yeah.
know if they got the win. If they got the win, Squiggles, DM us if you want to. If you want to DM us a link or something, we can throw that up there. But American tech platforms shouldn't have to follow any law but American law. Yes, I agree with you, and that's kind of where Elon Musk stands. And I think more are starting to do it, that they don't give a fuck. Now, the only one that they're all going to bend to is China, because they always do bend to China because it's such a big market. I don't know if Musk is going to bend to China. I don't think he has. And that's why they kind of have like their own version of Twitter and everything over there. And they have
WeChat.
They have WeChat, which they don't. WeChat is an all-encompassing thing.
WeChat's everything, yeah. So
which is what Musk is going for.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
that's something
Musk is terrifying, where he like wants to make a X as a WeChat type of thing. Which again, there's good Musk and bad Musk. Good Musk is what we've seen on the Trump campaign and everything like that. Bad Musk is neurochips, iRobots that are going to turn red and fucking eat you, and X being everything. So those are the two kind of juxtapositions over there. And he came out and listen, one of the reasons why I'll say Elon Musk hasn't changed. He was asked about abortion, and he quite literally came out with like a Roe v. Wade stance. That his biggest draw the line is when the baby is out of the womb, you can't kill it. It's murder. Which we need to stop talking about viability, because viability means shit. Because in order to be viable, the baby needs to know how to walk, and at least go find food and drink for itself. So when you say viability, you're giving away the game to allow them to kill infants. I know it's been a kind of a term that has kind of gained this when they pop out, but with leftists, I don't trust them. They'll use the meaning of the word when they need to. So I don't like viability as a standard. If you're going to have any sort of like abortion standard, and conservatives seem to be giving up a lot of that, with viability being like the line, and when is viability and when it isn't. Fuck that. That's not a thing. Viability means can survive on their own. You put an infant just born on a table and walk away, that infant dies. It cannot survive on its own. It is not viable yet. And I just don't want to give away, Republicans are bad with words. We suck at that, conservatives. That's not a word you give them. Do not give these fucks that word. All right, go ahead, Dave.
Is it viability or viability? Anyway, I'm going to keep going to the next topic. that was a big drop. We did need to talk about it, but there's not a ton of shit. Plus, it's something that we already figured out on our own. Like, we know that they want Musk Twitter to not be a thing. They don't want X to be a thing anymore.
No, they don't. Thought viability was in reference to deformities and defects. Initially, I believe it was Squiggles, but now they use viability, and the conservatives, the right and the left, is guilty of this. Viability is quite literally, can it survive on its own? And where the conservatives are taking it is when it pops out, when it can breathe, when it can eat, when it can do that. Democrats have already shown that they don't give a fuck about that. They want 9-month abortions, and they want to keep it comfortable if the abortion is botched, and decide if they want to kill it then and there. So we got to be careful. We got to understand the wordplay that they do and not give them ammo. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. So the next thing we have here is actually someone who may not be totally viable. Charlie Kirk shared a video breaking 14 days before the presidential election. Joe Biden calls for the incarceration of Donald Trump. We got what?
Biden. Honestly, here's my pitch to Trump.
We got to lock him up.
Hold on. Here's my pitch to Trump. Trump, when you win, keep Biden. Keep him as a pet. A lot. Keep him as a pet, and just fucking let him come out
around like Jimmy Carter.
Just let him wander around your press conferences, and then just randomly come up. And every time you're done speaking, just let Biden come up and say something.
Yeah, exactly. Have him wear a MAGA hat. He'll be smiling ear to ear if we get him that. This is the tell as to why Democrat machine has been feverishly working in President Trump. It's all been intentional. And like I said, Charlie shared this. A whole bunch of people shared this, but we'll listen to it as well. Give give Biden his context at 48 seconds. It shouldn't be too long.
He is talking about doing away with the entire Department of Education. He's talking, he means
Good
it.
thing.
This is not a joke.
Yeah, because it's a good thing.
This is a guy who also wants to
Can you
replace
pause it?
every civil servant.
I know he's a corpse, but it's the president of the United States. Can you not get him a fucking microphone and a sound system that does not sound?
No one
awful?
cares about him. Like, he's a president, but no one looks at him as president.
I
Not a
get it.
single fucking person does.
But you know what, though? Just from a sound perspective, that this is fucking terrible. I don't know if I could do 48 seconds. Go ahead.
Well,
Nick.
we're going to. You went through 14. You could do
It
48.
hurts.
Every single one. Thinks he has a right under the Supreme Court ruling on immunity to be able, if need be, if it was the case, to actually physically eliminate, shoot, kill someone who he believes to be a threat to him.
What?
I mean, so I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We gotta lock him up. Politically lock him up.
Political locking.
He is
And that's just not helpful to Kamala, but it is helpful to Trump. It is very helpful to Trump
The thing
for
is,
him to come
too-
out and say that.
The thing is, too, years ago when we didn't have this climate, when they weren't actually trying to lock Trump up, he would say something like that, and we would understand the figurative of, hey, we got to lock him up. We got to get him out of here. Like, we got to beat him.
We actually have Trump's mugshot now.
It
so
takes on a very
it's
new
not out of the
connotation.
realm of possibility.
He has a mugshot. They are trying to put him in jail. They've tried to kill him twice. Potentially a third time, depending on what we know about we find out about this.
I
one.
don't think a third time. I
I
don't think that was.
I think the
I don't
guy's a
think
Trump
that was-
supporter. I just
Yeah, I
think
don't
he's a
think that was-
fucking. I just think he's kind of a dumbass carrying guns everywhere. Which
Well,
you're
not
right.
even that. Not carrying guns everywhere, but like, why are you stopping and saying, "Hey, I have guns in my back," and being unregistered? Like, what are you doing? Why would you do this? Bring them in. They already let you pass. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, that would be funny, but he is a pedocrat. He is a pedocrat. I agree with that. That's what he thinks, dude. The whole talking point on the immunity thing is bull. Exactly. Agreed. So yeah, they're giving away the game, Dave. Biden's giving it away. But why would you let him go to the mic anymore? He's fucking senile. You hit him for a whole
I want him on the
campaign.
mic more.
Oh,
You
no,
kidding me?
but if you're the campaign,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
the campaign, if you're even the White House, unless you really want Kamala to lose,
That-
which they might.
Like, there might be a push from the Biden camp to want to fuck over the Kamala camp. It really might.
I think there might be a strong notion of that. I'm not going to lie.
hmm
So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Biden is just, listen, the guy's been a gap machine his whole career.
Yeah.
Even when he was coherent and just
Mhm.
retarded. Now he's retarded and incoherent and still really racist as he was back then. So I'm surprised we haven't heard N-bomb from him yet. I am very surprised that he's getting to that old senile stage where he just starts saying whatever the fuck he wants.
That'd be incredibly Kino if he were to do that. I'm not gonna let that. That would be an incredible clip. I would
Do you
laugh my
think-
ass
do
off
you
if
think-
he did that.
Do you think Kamala does the 25th if he does that? Just it's like that. That's the
I
reason
think
why the
yeah. I
25th.
think you're in a spot in the Democrat Party where you have to, dude. You have to if he does that. No matter where it is during the year, you have to.
You could put him side by side with Lyndon Johnson.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, no one knows anything about Crooks yet. That's true. We won't. I'm just gonna say that.
No.
I don't think we will
Crooks
for a
and the
while.
trans shooter and the Vegas sniper. Never going to know anything about those three.
Yeah. So we're going to move from that to something that was actually pretty big culturally.
Yep.
Zachary Levi
Yeah.
recently has come out. I mean, he's been an RFK supporter, but since RFK's gone with Trump, Zachary Levi is also jumping on the Trump train. He has been outspoken about it. He's been outspoken about if you are basically anything sort of conservative in Hollywood, you get killed off as a career. And Whoopi Goldberg decided to say something about that on The View. Said some pretty stupid things about it, to be quite honest
It's
with you.
Whoopi Goldberg.
As
Are we
normal.
surprised? She's a retard.
Yes. And Zachary Levi responded to that on his IG Live. But before that, I do want to read out Clifton Duncan's tweet with
Yep.
Zachary Levi's video here because I really like Clifton Duncan. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
Clifton's awesome.
Yeah. So everything Zachary Levi says in this video is 100% accurate. I don't identify as conservative and haven't endorsed Trump. And I've just been informed by a friend that I'm being actively blacklisted by the theater industry. at a time when they claim to want to uplift Black voices and promote a positive culture of inclusivity. I've said this again and again. There are plenty of non-leftists in entertainment, but they say nothing. They sit backstage and on sets and in rehearsal studios and in dressing rooms day after day after day, listening as their colleagues relentlessly demonize and dehumanize any person or idea that isn't far left coded.
One second, real quick. The reason why I think that goes on, and I think it still goes on,
Mhm.
is because conservatives have always been a live and let live type of group. We don't give a fuck.
This is a terrible screen cap.
He's making the O face. We don't give a fuck what you have to say, what you think, right?
As long as we get this thing done and with
As long as we get the
product,
thing done and it's a product, like you can spew all the vitriol you want, you can hate me all you want, as long as we work together and we get it done. And that's a very conservative type of view. That's a very that is just the way that conservatives operate because we believe in freedom for the most part. You know, there's some that don't, Patriot Act, but we believe in freedom and freedom of expression, freedom to speak, and all that. So for us, I'm not surprised that many just sit backstage because also I'm not going to argue with an idiot. That's the thing too. It's like, you know, if I think this person can legitimately listen to me, even though I know they're going to stay left, but we can have a fun back and forth, and I know it's not going to affect our relationship, you do it. Like conservatives will engage in that. But for the most part, if it's in a professional setting, it's not worth anything. So I'm not going to argue with an idiot. And I really feel like that's why most of this goes on. I don't think it's necessarily that they're cowards. I just think that it's just a kind of the conservative mindset of, meh, it's their opinion. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I do want to, before I move on, keep going, I do want to point out, like I said, Cliff Duncan's really cool. I believe he is still planning on doing his one-man show of Thomas Sowell, like being Thomas Sowell and stuff like that. So that's going to be really fucking cool. I'm pretty sure he put out like a little trailer about it. But I do just want to push him because he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we got to look up when that's happening because if so, we'll definitely talk about it here because that's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah. They know that any pushback against the routinely inaccurate and frankly asinine remarks made whenever discussions turn to politics, as they often do, can have severe social and professional consequences. This kind of entrenched bigotry ensures that an already crippled industry will soon completely cease to be relevant in an age where people have endless entertainment choices. Worst of all, at a time where Americans are struggling and feel more divided than ever, instead of lightening our citizens' spiritual and emotional burdens and bringing them together through our work, the entertainment industry will continue to act as a vehicle for division, driving yet more social disintegration and cultural malaise. There is nothing progressive about that. Just completely accurate.
Yep.
And I do want to play this full video, obviously. We'll pause and talk, but I think it's a really good response.
Oh, and by the way, to Whoopi Goldberg and to Sonny and to, you know, all of the folks at The View, I don't think it's accurate to say that somehow Hollywood is both a liberal and a conservative town. To Whoopi's point, back in the day, there might have been a bit more of a balance, you know, and there have always been more, let's say, conservative-leaning stars that have been able to say those things, but you really have to be at a certain level of your career in order to get away with it. Number one, but number two, that was also back then, and I think naming just John Voight and Dennis Quaid. And really, you only named John Voight, Whoopi. Somebody else had to help you with Dennis Quaid. Of the thousands of actors in Hollywood that you could only name two, I think actually speaks to that. And what that means is there's plenty, and by the way, they have sent me lots of messages, plenty of people in my industry, in Hollywood, that are terrified to publicly say that they would vote for Donald Trump or be conservative.
And I do want to say real quick, because you hear this from a lot of people whenever they are conservative or just not far left and they speak out in public in any type of way. You hear it a lot from people that have influence, that have like a whole bunch of people that watch them or whatever. They always bring up that they get a ton of support privately. Which is
awful, right? Because if you're willing to send out that big support, speak the fuck up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's annoying because it's probably the same people that send it to like every person privately. It's probably the same people that are sending it to multiple of these influencers or whatever the fuck you want to call them, that are just saying thank you for saying this because I really can't. Like I understand the position. I do. I get it. But it's at a point where you might, if you find yourself consistently privately DMing people saying thank you, you might want to start speaking up and thanking yourself for actually saying what you want to say.
But you know what though? It's also to a point where it's like, yes, that's great, but look at Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn came out and I wasn't even, I think, supported Trump. I think he like supported like, I don't know, like Romney or something, or like McCain. And when was the last time we saw Vince Vaughn work?
Well, yeah, he actually has a new TV show. It's apparently, I heard good things. I think it's called Bad Monkey.
And he did interviews, and he's doing
yeah.
interviews again.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
been like, you paid your penance.
Mhm.
Now we'll let you back in the industry type of deal.
Mhm.
But it's like Vince Vaughn became, and he's been in the Friends of Abe for a long time. He's an
Mhm.
open, now he's always been openly conservative, but never really spoke out about it. And then the one time he speaks out, he got blacklisted for a long time. Now, I could be completely inaccurate, and he could have done it on his own. He could have just taken himself out. I don't know. I don't believe he would have, because he was on fucking top, and then he was gone. So, I mean, there is a risk with this, but you know what though? It's like, what needs to happen is when one speaks out, another needs to speak out, and another. They need to have strength in numbers. One just can't speak out and get a bunch of fucking texts like Zachary Levi. Instead of texting, share his post at the least. Share it. That's huge.
Yeah.
Because then when someone questions, oh, why'd you share that? Oh, because he's right. You know what I mean? Like, at a minimum, share it, like it, have the bravery to like it.
Well,
It goes up.
you can't anymore though. Likes are private now. So
That's true. That's true. But yeah, but at least share it. Do something like that.
Yes.
You know, or make a minor, like, you don't have to sit there and say, but say, hey, I agree with Zach. You know what I mean? Like, that goes a long way. But you know, you see guys like Kevin Sorbo. Kevin Sorbo was massive. He has to do his own work now because Kevin Sorbo's been blacklisted. So it's like, you can have a high level of fame and still speak out and get fucked over by it.
Yes.
Or you can go to Adam Sandler route, who votes Republican but doesn't talk about it, and successful.
He also has his own company too. So
yeah,
which
that's true.
Good for him.
Very
but we'll finish this off.
In any way. That's why you don't see them. That's why they're not very prevalent or prominent, because they know that there's ramifications for this kind of shit. But like I said, y'all, our industry is going to be fucking gonzo. Like, it already is. We're getting eroded. The pandemic and the strikes and all of these things, they've already eroded it so much. So, you know, my cry to all of you out there, you closeted conservatives, closeted Trump voters, y'all, it's now or never. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I do whatever you feel like you need to do. If you need to come out publicly and say it, if you feel like you still can't, then don't. You know, I would never pressure you to that. But know that if what you're afraid of is somehow the backlash of an industry that's not going to exist very soon, then don't let that.
It's really based on the statement.
Don't let that hold you back. You know.
That was fucking sweet.
Really, really good statement by Zachary Levi there. I thought he's been killing it. Just really go over real quick. Daily Wire just landed a good actor. Probably.
I mean, and here's the thing.
Understandable to not consume.
Put him in a costume right away. Put him in a superhero costume right a fucking way.
Depending on what you could do.
A good script. The guy's good. The guy's sculpted like Superman.
Yeah. From what I've seen from Adam Sandler, he is true to his day ones. No matter what, he's true to his day ones. He puts them on. He gets them wherever they need to go. Like he brought everyone up with him.
Well, you also have to look at who rolls with Adam Sandler. It's Steve Buscemi, who's a conservative. It is whatchamacallit,
and MJF,
Kevin James,
Happy Gilmore. Yes, there's a clip that came out where I think they're on steps or something like that filming. But yeah, him and Adam Sandler. Yep,
that's good. But like Kevin James, very much acts like a Republican. I believe he is one. So he surrounds himself generally with more conservative leaning people, outside of like Jon Stewart for a movie or two. But you know, you could work with people you disagree with though. There's also that. But yeah, no, Adam Sandler has stood by anybody that has come out. He doesn't care about your politics, but especially like, Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is still his bro. He's in all of his movies with him, whatever he wants. So Adam Sandler seems like a really good dude. And I do recommend go listen to Adam Sandler's podcast with Joe Rogan. It was actually really good. His one with Kevin, his most recent one with Kevin James was one of my favorites.
Yeah, aren't they good friends?
They're best friends.
Yeah.
They came up together. They were maybe like 4 or 5 years apart, like a generation. But
Yeah.
since then, actually, no, him and Kevin James came up together. Him and Adam Sandler were about like a 6-7 year difference. And it was
Okay.
funny to hear just
Mhm.
about Sandler coming in and Rogan knowing. But
Yeah.
I recommend the one with Joe Rogan and Kevin James, the most recent one, was incredible. I found out that Kevin James fasted for 47 days straight.
That's
Yeah, insane.
awesome.
Like Kevin James is a fucking monster, but Kevin James was also a state champion wrestler. So the guy is an athlete.
Mhm.
He just is a fucking psycho.
Mhm.
But hearing like his insecurities going up on stage and things like that, and then kind of like making fun of each other for the intricacies that they know about each other and things
Yeah.
like that. Like it was two friends just shooting the
Just
shit,
chopping it up.
and it was
Mhm.
awesome. So I enjoyed that one. I recommend that one. And I recommend the Sandler one. The Sandler one was actually really good. But Joe Rogan speaks comedy because he's a comedian.
Mhm.
When he talks to these comedians, you hear them speak like the comedic game, which
Yeah.
I think most people don't know exists until you listen to these comedians speak. So
Yep.
it's really good there. So
Nice.
I just want to mention, Dave, before we jump to our next story, I talked about Joe Rogan. Donald Trump,
Yes.
as
Yes.
he's confirmed,
Friday.
is going to be on this Friday, October 25th on the Joe Rogan
Mhm.
Experience. I guarantee it's going to be fucking incredible.
I'm excited. I want to see what happens. There's a lot of things that could come out of this, and like there could be some awkward exchanges. Trump
Absolutely.
could knock it out of fucking park.
I think Trump
I
is
have
still
no
the-
idea.
Here's the thing. Trump's a charming guy.
Yes.
So Joe Rogan's not going to go soft on him, but Joe Rogan's not going to come away thinking this guy's an asshole.
Mhm.
Trump's a charming guy. And again, Trump, I think you're going to hear at one point Rogan praising Trump for his comedic stand-up type of style.
And he should, honestly.
Because he's talked about it, he's mentioned it, and
Yeah.
I think he's going to definitely talk about the fact that he does a stand-up style
Mhm.
at his rallies and have Trump kind of be like, well, I didn't know. That was just kind of just what I do. Like, you know what I mean? Just
What? Your Trump sounds like Stewie.
I didn't even know I could do Stewie. I mean, yeah. You hope he does KT while he's in town. What's KT?
I can't think of it right now. Can't think. There you go.
Can't think.
I don't
Oh,
know.
Kill Tony.
Oh
That's it.
my
Kill
God!
Tony.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Kill Tony.
Jesus.
But what I really hope is that
Imagine he goes on with Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is Trump.
goes on with Shane Gillis.
Oh my God, that'd be incredible.
Or also, if fucking Joe Rogan convinces him to go to the mothership and then he forces him on stage to do a little set as like
That'd
a
be
rally.
wild.
If he goes
That
on,
would be
if he goes to the
wild.
mothership and does like a little like mini set while
Mhm.
he's campaigning, that would blow the doors off. Right now, Trump's doing everything right as we get to this point in the campaign. Everything he's been doing, and this is not just me praising, because if
Well,
Kamala
no,
was doing things right, I would say it too.
This has been a very humanizing campaign for Trump. Because you already
Yeah.
know Trump
Yeah.
coming into this. But like I said, because I keep bringing up the Theo Von one because I still think that's his best interview he's ever done.
Mhm.
But when he's going on these podcasts, he's showing a side that most people don't see from his rallies
Agreed.
or from when he just goes on like a corporate media setting. He's showing that he's almost like a normal person. Like he
is
didn't
showing-
necessarily feel like this huge billion. Like when Andrew Schultz brought up that Don Jr. told him a story about how he threw a party after Trump left, and Trump said to not fucking only have like so many people over because Don said there's only be 5. He had like like so many people over. They were trashing the place. Don comes back early. Junior didn't expect him. Don fucking throws everyone out, and Junior had to clean up for like the rest of the fucking day.
That is such a
And-
normal thing.
What? Yeah, normal thing. and he never gotten closure of it. Trump just doesn't fucking bring it up. It's a hilarious part of that podcast, but it just seems like a normal parent-child
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah,
So
and
he's been very humanizing during this campaign. I think if that's the right context to put it.
it is that's a good context, and it confirms what anyone that's had like long interactions with him has said. Like, I listen to Glenn, and Glenn says like, he's very different than what you would expect. That he's
Mhm.
actually a really kind person.
Mhm.
He's more humble than he puts out. Rush Limbaugh said that about him for a while before he passed away.
Mhm.
All of these people that are around Trump consistently, Pastor Scott has
Yeah.
said just, how awesome of a guy Donald Trump is, and he wouldn't fucking hang around him if he was a dickhead. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yep.
And Pastor Scott said that multiple times on this show. So what this is doing is it's kind of confirming what everybody's saying about him,
Yeah.
that he truly is, he's Trump. You're going to get Trump every time.
Mhm.
But when it comes to dealing with people, he's not this billionaire asshole. And you saw in the
Mhm.
interactions at McDonald's, like he was quite literally like he was a funny meme, but at the same time, like he was very like complimentary of everything.
Well, when the one guy came up to the window and he said something about thank you for helping an ordinary person like me, like us, and he told him you're not ordinary, you're not like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Little things.
yeah, it's little things that he does when he's interacting with people that get people to really like him. Like and
Well,
doing
he
these
had,
podcasts are fucking great for him.
he did that Q&A with Harrison Faulkner and the women's one, and
Mhm.
one young lady that was up there was obviously nervous.
Mhm.
And he just sits there and he hears her skipping and nervous, and he just interjects and goes, "You have a very beautiful voice.
Mhm.
Just, you have a very lovely voice. You just need
Mhm.
to know that you're doing great." And
Mhm.
she's like, "I'm having a panic attack. Thank you." Like he
Yeah.
calmed her down. And it's like knowing when to say those things.
Mhm.
That's a natural inclination of
Yeah.
knowing when to say and what to say. Like he could have easily just been like, "You're doing great, honey. You're
Mhm.
fine." But instead he just went to actually legitimately compliment her,
Yes.
which you're having the former president of the United States and a billionaire tell you you have a nice voice. Like
Mhm.
that goes somewhere. So that's the thing. It's humanizing him, like you said. His kids being fantastic, and Don
Yeah.
Jr.
No.
just being
Like.
absolutely incredible every show he's on. And
Mhm.
Don Jr. just seems like a guy. It's like he's that guy that walks up, looks like the slick-haired dickhead, and then he walks up to you, shakes your hand, and talks to you like a normal person. And you're like, wow, he's nothing like what I thought. Like,
Yeah.
that's what Don Jr. looks like, that type of guy to me, where he's decked out to the tees. You
Mhm.
think he's going to be a piece of shit. And then he just comes up to you and starts talking to you about the game. And nothing that makes it seem like he's this billionaire, tycoon, multi-billion dollar corporation helping his dad run it. Like,
Mhm.
you just walk away like, holy shit, he's normal. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's what it all seems like to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I've liked Trump before this campaign as a candidate,
Yeah.
but this campaign has really made me just like him a lot more. Just as a person, like I'm just like enjoying it. Like I think I'm enjoying him a lot more as a whole person. Like I'd want to listen to the podcast he's on now.
Yeah, and Glenn Beck said it the best. I wasn't around for it, but I heard this is a very Ronald Reagan-esque campaign where he's just charming the country.
Mhm.
Where he's just going around and charming people. And looks like it's having the same effect. And it makes me sad that Rush isn't around for this. Because I feel like Rush would have just reveled in
Mhm.
the man loved being right.
Yep.
Rush liked nothing more than being right.
Yep.
And just to see Trump come in and do the things that Rush was telling him to do in the first two campaigns, basically, before he passed away, it would be great. I know I miss Rush. I don't know, but you didn't. I don't think you listened to him as much as I did.
No.
Dad listened to him a ton. I miss Rush Limbaugh, and I feel like more conservatives need to come out and talk about Rush still, because I
Mhm.
feel like he's a fucking afterthought. I
Mhm.
thought about this the other day. And
Shouldn't be.
aside,
Shouldn't be, especially what
He's-
he's done for radio in general.
for the populist movement.
Yeah.
For Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not exist if Rush Limbaugh isn't raising a community of
Mhm.
populists
Mhm.
and listen, there's a reason why the belief in theory and conservatism right now is we need to know the left better than the left knows the left. Because that was a Rush Limbaugh thing where he would give you all the information that the leftists were going to say. His show was more about what the leftists are doing and what they're saying and educating you about the left than it was giving you conservative stances. That is what his show did. And I heard from our father at Bo Snerdley has a show now on WABC.
Sweet.
Snerdley was, his
Producer.
producer forever. I haven't listened. I need to fucking listen to Bo's show because Bo just seemed like the most nicest human being on the planet too. And it's always funny when everyone called Trump a raging racist and Bo Snerdley is very black. He's a black American and he's been one of Russia's best friends forever. So yeah, that was an aside, but I just felt like I needed to say it, that we need to sit there, and that's another person that, we need to continue to talk about Rush Limbaugh. We cannot let Rush Limbaugh become an afterthought because there are so many people that owe a lot to Rush Limbaugh. We would not have conservative radio we would not have these conservative podcasts just continuing what conservative radio does without Rush. So we need to keep his spirit alive because Rush was
Yep.
fucking awesome. Anyway, I'll go on those every once in a while.
We might as well keep talking on your subject next.
Keep talking on
The
my
one that
subject
you know.
with
'Cause I
my
don't know this one.
with my non-formerly nicotine stained fingers, and that was a Rush thing.
I was gonna
Formerly
say.
nicotine stained fingers when he quit smoking. Talent on loan from God. I'll do them all day. All right. Anyway, next topic here. Haley Davidson competes as players dispute LPGA trans policy. Now, Dave,
I do want to say real quick, when you sent this story to me, my brain automatically filled in Harley Davidson, so I thought we were going to be
honestly,
talking
I
about
thought
bikes.
Harley Davidson it well.
And I was
Maybe
really
read it a few
confused. I was
times.
like, what the fuck did he just send me?
But Dave, we need to start off this article with one thing and one thing only to remind everyone when we talk about trans things.
Mm-hmm.
Girls have vagina.
We need to let kindergarten cops let us know about what is actually going on here, okay? So this article, the one thing I want to cover is it is fucking based that there are this many women in the LPGA that are willing to put their name on something. Let's continue.
Weird to say an ESPN article is based.
No. The article's not fucking based.
No, I know. I'm
The
just
article's
saying,
not based. The women are based. The article's a fucking shit show. The women are
Did they
based.
mention Outkick there?
They did, and here's
Holy
why though.
shit.
Because look at the highlight here, Dave. It's AP that wrote it. ESPN is aggregating it.
Okay. I was going to say, I
ESPN's
don't know why
aggregating it.
ESPN would ever mention Outkick.
They're
makes
aggregating it, and it's still pretty cool. They're
Still
aggregating and
weird.
allowing Outkick in it.
Yeah.
But it's who reported it though, and if you want to be a
Yes.
company, you put down who reported it. All right.
Mhm.
So, transgender golfer Haley Davidson began the second stage of LPGA qualifying Tuesday with a 78, as reports surfaced, of 275 female players signing a letter asking top golf organizations to repeal policies that allow people assigned male at birth to compete in women's events. So right there, the language, Dave,
Mm-hmm.
that allows people assigned male at birth. Fuck whoever wrote this.
I know.
That allows
Assigned.
males pretending to be women. Because once again, we need to remember
Girls have vagina.
that's going to get a lot of play, this article. Anyway, Outkick reported that the Independent Women's Forum shared the letter sent August 19th to the LPGA and U.S. Golf Association and the International Golf Federation. The letter was sent 3 days before the pre-qualifying stage of Q School. I don't know what the fuck Q School is. Davidson, who narrowly missed out on a playoff during the U.S. Women's Open qualifying this year, tied for 42nd in LPGA pre-qualifying to advance to the next stage. And Dave, here's the thing. We're going to find out in this article that dude Davidson is not very good at golf because they suck in the women's division. He sucks in the women's division. But this is always what they go back to. Well, it's not like they're dominating everything.
Yeah, I don't
Haley's
care.
not very good.
I don't care.
And that's not the point.
Yeah, it's not the
is,
point.
dude. Number one.
It's not the point.
And number two, he's still taking a slot from a pro,
Mhm.
from a pro female that could be there. Sounds like we betting on
Yeah, you're not good enough.
No.
Harley Davidson isn't good enough.
Yeah, Harley
unfortunately.
Davidson. Yeah, we're gonna start but Harley's kind of, I don't know, Harley's a chick name too. Okay, let's go. LPGA allows players who have undergone gender affirming surgery, so cutting their shit off, mutilation. They have undergone genital mutilation surgery after fucking puberty. Full-blown men getting their shit cut off. That's okay. And mean
Why?
hormone therapy
Like,
requirements
tees are moved up for women's golf.
They're moved up for women's golf
What the fuck? Like,
really far.
there's
And
not
number
even
two-
a reference to be like, oh, well, it's similar enough. It's
And
weird.
number two, once a guy and a girl go through puberty, the bone structure
Yes.
is very different. The
Yes.
muscular structure is very different. The hormones don't matter as much.
Mhm.
They really do not. Just because you become a feminine male does not mean you are not still stronger and more physically imposing than 95% of the females out there.
Mhm.
It doesn't make a difference. So the fact that that's part of the policy just goes to show that, number one, I'm not even going to say they don't know science. They don't care about science.
Yeah,
They don't
they
care
don't
about true
care.
biology. It's not that they don't know. I'm not giving them the benefit of that doubt. They don't fucking care. Anyway, Davidson, who has been open about his transition, it's a him. He's not a her, it's a him. Said in an Instagram post in March that the LPGA's policy is working pretty well, given the lack of success by transgender players at the highest level of women's golf. So because we fucking suck, then it's fine. But if we were great, it would still be fine because it's inclusive. You can't win with these people. And here's the thing, anyone that, might be watching or listening to this and is like, why is he a dick to transgender people? I'm not a dick to transgender people. I actually don't give a fuck. Live your life. I will rip on, rag on, and fucking rape to the coals the ones who are doing
Rake through the coals? What are you saying?
Rake through the
You
I said it and I was like, is that the right word?
It's not.
I mean, fucking gender mutilation boy would like it anyway. Anyway,
okay, continue.
I will rake through the coals any guy like this that is doing it to take advantage. You do not deserve the respect that a actual good human would get. All right. Anyway, let's continue. Golf Week obtained a memo from Commissioner Molly Marco Saman in August, in which she informed the LGPA and Epson Tour players that the tour would conclude a review of its policy by the end of the year and have any changes implemented before next season. So fuck you for this season. You compete against a dude for this season because we said so. Second stage of qualifying, blah, blah, blah. Top 35 and ties advance to the final qualifying. Any player who completes all 4 rounds gets limited status in development Epson Tour. So this person is not even good enough to really be in the LPGA. They're in a development tour. They suck at golf. But again, not the point. Their 78 put them at a tie for 171st out of 194 player field. So very likely they're not going to move on. They're not very good. They need to get in the top 35. They're not going to do that. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So it's current and former players from various tours that signed this and signed into those organizations. And here's part of what it said. It is essential for the integrity and fairness of women's golf to have a clear and consistent participation policy that is based on a player's immutable sex. Thank you for clear language. There are differences between the sexes, female and male, that specifically affect our sport of golf. Yes, it fucking does. So Davidson had a scholarship to play at on the men's team at Wilmington University in Delaware before transferring to the men's team at Christopher Newport in Virginia. Golf Week reported that he began hormone therapy treatments in 2015 and had gender-affirming surgery in 2021. So the individual was a collegiate golfer. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't care about the rest of this. But no, actually, because of the wording here. Davidson won a tournament and was runner-up 3 times in the NXXT Golf Tour in Florida earlier this year. Small Circuit in March updated its eligibility policy to require all players, again, they're using to be assigned at birth. No one's assigned anything at birth. You fucking idiot that wrote this. All players that are born females. God, the female at birth shit drives me nuts. Anything at birth shit drives me nuts. They're not assigned anything at birth. They are or they aren't. Dave, you have anything on that?
You don't care.
I wanted to find that because it popped in my mind when we said they don't care. I'm sorry.
You know something? Maybe conservatives do deserve to be blackballed from Hollywood.
That's a compilation of phone rants. I might have to listen to that full video. It's probably hilarious.
After hearing that, maybe they do. Fucking Mel Gibson makes great movies and a great actor. Just absolutely fuck, dude. The South Park. When he wanted to make The Passion 2.
It's incredible.
It's so good and so on the nose. It was amazing. But yeah, so the LGBT player thing, it's something, again, I would say we track it, but that person's fucking terrible. So I don't think that they are going to go very far. But it's the principle of the matter that dudes should not be in women's sports. And on that note, if you're in New York, vote against Proposition 1. Anyway, had to throw that in there.
So I actually added this. You had no idea I was adding.
No, I did not.
The Daniel Penny trial.
Oh, I did see that.
I believe, has started by now because this is 2 days ago. The lawyers will try to put jurors in that train car and ask, what would you do as trial begins? And really, I just wanted to bring up that this trial is happening. I know this story is from a bit ago, but it is finally going along. And this goes over what each side's going to argue. But he faces up to 15 years in prison if the jury convicts him of the manslaughter rap,
For
and up
being a
to
good
40
Samaritan.
years behind bars if he's convicted on the lesser
Oh.
criminally negligent homicide charge. And the DA's office not indicated how stiff of a sentence it would seek against Penny, who had no prior criminal record before his arrest. The final say on Penny's fate in the event of a conviction would come down to Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Maxwell Wiley, who is presiding over the case. And I just wanted to bring up that this case is happening. This is a huge case, to be quite honest with you. And man, oh man, I hope he comes out with absolutely nothing on him.
Here's the thing, and I'm calling out to any of our law tuber friends out there. Let's fucking go, guys. Let's go, and let's get the support of this guy like we had for Kyle Rittenhouse, like we have for some others.
Johnny.
Let's get this shit out there, and let's start calling out the bullshit. Live stream this. Make these fucking prosecutors famous for their bullshit. All right? Because that campaign worked so well with the Johnny Depp stuff, with all that. Because I think these prosecutors were seeing all this and knew that they were on blast every fucking moment. So if this is going to be a televised, if this is going to be a live filmed trial,
I don't know if it is.
if it is, I don't know what the New York law is or the New York City law about that is. If it is, though, let's go, law tubers. Let's do it. Ricada, fucking redeem yourself. Okay. I don't care.
He's not. I am not even gonna bring. He's not. he's not streaming again for a while. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But we've law of self-defense, all the people we've had,
holy shit,
we had law of self-defense on and everything like that. Let's go. You guys led such a charge back then. Don't fade away now. This is that trial that you guys will need to get back in there. So we need this. And we need to put the pressure on the prosecutors to cross their T's and fucking dot their I's. Because at the least, they can sweat.
Yeah, this worries me, Nate.
Yeah.
It worries me. It very much worries me. Especially the fact that some people might not, it says that they're going to try to put people in that train car, like where Daniel Penny was, and ask what would they do. And the unfortunate fact might be that a lot of people in that train car would say they wouldn't do anything, would say that they would be afraid of Penny and what he did. And that's a possibility. So it's tough because, you look at things from an actual masculine perspective and what he did was right. And what he did was actually just trying to protect. Yeah. And, shit just happens. The guy was probably Neely was already fucked up in many ways.
100%.
So any minor thing would have put him out. But now masculinity is toxic. So we have to see how the jury find that his jury is found.
The defense needs to work hard to get some veterans on there. They need to work hard to get some veterans on there that are trained. Because if you have a trained individual in something like combat or things like that, they will sit there and be very
depends on who it is.
But still,
on who it is.
You get a better chance of sympathy with Penny because they'll look at it and say his hold was clean. He put him in the safety position afterwards. It's not like he did not intend to kill this man. He meant to subdue him. And the fact that the guy was a fucking drug addict, the weak heart, he died. Because he sucks. Same thing with George Floyd. George Floyd died of an overdose. He was not killed by fucking Derek Chauvin.
Daring today, aren't we? Daring today, aren't we?
We're already demonetized. But listen, at this point, it's the truth. It is the factual truth. Autopsy, guy had fentanyl in his fucking system. He had an 8-ball on him in his system. The guy was fucking buzzing. Was probably going to die that day anyway from all the shit he did. Be quite honest, there was a good chance George Floyd dies that day either way from all the drugs in his system. And, Chauvin put him in a fucking police-taught, trained, subdued. So all the shit that surrounded it was fucking stupid. And, you can come to this point today and just be like, all the shit that happened around George Floyd was manufactured, was unnecessary, was wrong, and the guy should not be fucking praised. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. 'Cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's move on to someone who should be praised.
Yes.
Masahiro Sakurai. This is our gaming portion basically now.
We are here.
So, Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai quits YouTube with final video teasing mystery new game. He had a YouTube channel.
What an asshole.
Hey, it's what he does, honestly.
Just fucking dips out after an announcement. What a piece of shit.
Yes, but in the final video from the Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games YouTube channel, Sakurai revealed that he received a video game development proposal in July 2021 as he was busy putting together the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Kazuya reveal video as well as DLC character Sora. Production then began in April 2022, which makes it 2.5 years in the making. Sakurai added that, assuming this video game is completed, it should be announced sooner or later, though he didn't say anything more specific. I received a request to write a game proposal, which I finished at lightning speed, he said. I'm sorry I can't share more about this project, but assuming we're able to get it made, it should be announced sooner or later. So there's not much more on this, but it's almost expected to be another Smash.
Absolutely.
That would be fucking incredible.
Yes.
But we'll see. Either way, it's exciting. And you never know what you're going to get out of these things sometimes.
It would be so smart if the Switch 2 comes with the new Smash. If they couple them together. If they get the new Smash done.
They could definitely do that.
With the Switch 2. And that could be its flagship.
I mean, the Super Switch.
The Super Switch. Is that what they're calling it?
No, I don't know.
That would, honestly, they should call it the Super Switch.
Super Switch is a good name, man.
Great name.
Yeah.
But if they did Smash with it as the flagship, it's already going to sell gangbusters because
honestly,
God, that would be great with it.
So it's either really Smash or another Mario Kart, because Mario Kart 8, I think, is the highest selling on Switch ever.
Yeah,
Mario Kart 8 is fucking huge. It's also
Mario
a fantastic game.
It
But
is.
either another Mario Kart, another Smash, I don't know. We'll see. Give me another Switch Sports on, actually. But
we need another Smash.
yeah. Well,
it is time.
You don't even necessarily need Smash Ultimate's fucking incredible. It's a great game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make another one because Smash Ultimate did so damn well. And you can make another great game with even more characters, which would be scary, but it's something that could happen.
Enough Smash.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Because here's the thing, I fully and totally plan on getting the Switch 2 when it comes out. It's gonna be the first console that I buy in like almost a decade. But the thing is, for me, as the decision goes, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of parents, that console is the best console for my kids.
Yes.
They are going to have a blast with it. Now they're playing the PlayStation 4 right now. They're not going to have a problem getting into that. They love Crash Bandicoot and CTR.
Yep.
But I feel like the Switch is much more ready for them.
Yes.
And we can all share it as a very shareable type of thing, where we could take it, do the handheld stuff and things like that. So I fully plan on buying the Switch too. Yeah, and I think a lot of parents are going to be right there with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be interested in buying it. It's probably going to be 300, 400. Like, it's not going to be 600.
It'll be a reasonable price.
Yeah, at least I assume so. We don't know until it actually comes out, but I'm assuming Nintendo, it's going to be 300, 400. Absolutely. So I'm interested in the new Switch coming out. I'm interested in whatever the fuck Sakurai's making, whether it be Smash or not, because it's most likely going to be a good game. 2.5 years.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to be a good game. It's probably going to be a lot of fun. And I hope that we do hear about it sooner than later, to be completely honest.
The fact that he goes sooner or later is such a dick move.
I know. Like, it's incredible. I love it.
Maybe it'll come out.
I love it. Keep things shrouded, man. Keep the hype up. I love it.
Deletes his page. What a dirtbag.
Well, he's done. He was done. Look, he had his YouTube career. He was good. He didn't need to make any more. He's not just thrown out of it through bad decisions like RTU. He's all good. Like, I'm sorry. I've been watching a video on it, so it's on my mind. But speaking of shrouded news, there's a Sega Shinobi movie in development.
Such a good game.
And this headline says the perfect director. We'll see about that. But filmmaker Sam Hargrave, known for Netflix's Extraction movies, which I haven't watched. Have you?
I haven't, but I heard good things about them, actually.
Okay. But those are his movies. He's going to be the one that's heading up this project. And this is mainly just talking about how video game movies are a thing. There's no word on if Shinobi will be animated or live action. Another interesting development. I think it should be animated, to be quite honest with you.
But this is something that could be done both ways, because making a Shinobi movie, honestly, we saw it with fucking Ninja Warrior. Ninja Warrior was incredible. You know, it didn't have too much in terms of story,
Mhm.
but the actor Rain knocked it the fuck out of the park. The blood, the gore, the sneaking, everything was so good. And you're not going to sell Shinobi. Shinobi's not going to be the blockbuster, okay?
No,
That is not going to be your summer blockbuster. That's
not going to be Mario.
no, that's to a niche group
Mhm.
of people who really like samurai movies, who really like
And honestly,
who really like ninja movies, who like that type of movie.
it was because I was watching Tuesday Night's Main Event before this. Craig said he didn't even know Blade was a comic movie
Yeah.
until a little bit ago.
Which is crazy.
So,
right?
but that's kind of the element of where you want to be with this type of movie with Shinobi. Those who know, but you want to make it a good movie and just fun in general.
Well, that was
so
Hit-
those that don't know, find out eventually and be like, oh shit, that's from a game. That's from
That
an
was
old.
Hitman. I don't think people knew that Hitman was based off the Hitman games.
Yeah.
And because Hitman was just, good, solid action fucking movie about a hitman killing people. Like,
Mhm.
and they obviously gave it a little more of a story, that they fleshed it out better. But for what Hitman was, they were perfectly solid, just popcorn flicks.
Mhm.
You just fucking went there, grabbed your popcorn, and saw some fucking cool action scenes, and you enjoyed what Hitman was. And I think a lot of people had no clue. Maybe our generation knew because Hitman was popular and it came out during Hitman's popularity. I think there was a new game that came out like right before like Hitman 3 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes.
It was good, and it was good.
Mhm.
So I mean, you're looking at that, and I don't think people are going to associate them together because also it's a fucking ninja movie.
Yes.
I'm surprised they haven't made Ninja Gaiden yet. I really am.
Yeah. And I'm just going to have this play for a little bit. This is
It-
from the Sega Master System. It's a long play, Shinobi. Funny, long play is 25 minutes.
I mean, Shinobi was not very long.
Shows what old games used to be. But it's just this. Classic side-scrolling action there.
Reminds me of a
thing-
lot of Last Battle in the way it's structured and the way it looks. Looks a
Little bit.
lot like Last Battle.
Same thing right here from Revenge of Shinobi on the Genesis.
It looks beautiful. It actually looks really nice as a game. Look at it.
Play the game.
Hey,
What?
pause it.
Sorry, can't hear
If you
you.
couldn't read, you were fucked on Genesis.
Oh,
They loved their long story fucking their story things right before.
yes.
Look up-
Their exposition is crazy.
They love those. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much more to see. It looks like fucking Contra.
Oh yeah.
Like, but this is what they're going with. Simple enough stuff. You can make a lot out of them, and you
A
can
very
just make a fun
beloved
movie.
It's a beloved series. Shinobi's a series that a lot of people like. I've always attributed Shinobi to paving the way for like a Ninja Gaiden.
Mhm.
In the way that they did it, Ninja Gaiden kind of took it with their engine, made it very different.
Mhm.
Because Ninja Gaiden is actually not a fucking easy game to play because it's such a unique fighting style and engine. You can really get yourself messed up. It was kind of like when Devil May Cry first came out, and people were like, "The hell." I can attack backwards instantaneously. Like, this is weird. Like, when DMC came out and started doing that
Mhm.
type of stuff, it was very, very different than from what we were used to, especially even with the 3D ones as well.
Yep.
So it was cool. And I think that was like original Unreal was Devil May Cry. I think that was like the first Unreal Engine was Devil May Cry.
Ooh, I don't know.
Possibly.
It was still a revolutionary game.
Oh my god,
either way.
DMC is one of the best series outside of one game.
So
One of the
to
best.
tie this all up,
Yep.
to end everything, since it is a spooky month, 10 classic horror games from the 2000s. We're just going to go over these, talk about what we know. First one, Dead Space, one of my favorite series of games. I actually
Yeah,
never finished
genius.
Dead Space 3, funny enough. But
Surprising.
yeah, but Dead Space 1 and 2, I've played the hell out of them. I
And
didn't
it
get
got the remaster like 2 years ago.
I didn't get the remaster yet. I should and play through that.
Apparently it added some cool shit to it too.
Yeah. But the games are incredible.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is awesome. I think Dead Space 2 is the best one.
I enjoyed watching you play. We did a reversal with Dead
Yeah.
Space because I watched you play that where
Yep.
you mostly used to watch me play games.
Yep.
I watched you play that because you're also as you've gotten older, become significantly better at gaming than I have. So it's like it's just a lot easier to watch you be successful and to watch
Yeah.
me try. Uh,
But yeah, no, I love this franchise. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is genuinely great horror survival game. So, and
oh, it's fucking terrifying sometimes.
yeah, anytime you want to have a genuinely great horror filled experience, pop in Dead Space or Dead Space 2.
Nice and
You're going to
gruesome,
have a
too.
great fucking time. Oh, it's
Well,
gory, it's gruesome. The way you kill the necromorphs, you have to kill, you have to chop their limbs off first. Like it's
And then you step on their
It's
fucking
intense.
heads.
It's intense. Oh yeah, to stomp. One of my favorite things.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
how you get more stuff, man. You got to keep stomping. But
Just keep stomping. just
yeah,
keep-
and another thing I loved about Dead Space, I can go on forever, but I do
You
want to
can.
do this real quick because I love when games do these types of things. There's no real HUD for Dead Space.
No.
So your health is right back here, your stasis is right here, your ammo is right above the gun as a hologram, and if you need to find out where you need to go, you tap in their right stick,
Mhm.
and you bring up a small line. You could switch it out depending on what you want. You look for a store or something, but it shows you your objective. It shows you where you need to go, and just a blue line that eventually fades after you let go of it.
Yep.
And I love it when games can incorporate all these things without having a HUD. And I don't really think HUDs are like too cramped. Some of them can be, but when you can make it all environment and all through just the storytelling of the environment, that's fucking awesome. I
Yeah,
love
it's-
that type of shit. And I know you've heard me talk about it all the way back with Spyro, where
Yeah.
Sparks is showing your health, and Sparks can show you where to go. You don't have anything on there unless you want to. You could look at your gems, but you
Yep.
don't have anything on that screen other than Spyro. Same thing with Dead Space. You don't have anything on there other than the experience you're getting on the Ishimura.
Yeah, and Crash did that too with the Uga Muga Mask, the Aku
Yes.
Aku. The Aku Aku came up, and if you
Yep.
were fucking struggling, you automatically got an Aku Aku.
Yep.
Just to start with you, and that's how you knew you sucked at the game.
Dead Space, the last game I bought at Blockbuster as it closed. You should have rented it. So you were basically going to buy it if you rented it because it closed. But
Yeah, you should have stolen
yeah, but yeah, dude, I could talk about Dead Space and Dead Space 2 for fucking ever. So,
Yeah.
but incredible games. It being 10 bothers me, to be completely honest, because of how much I love them. But as long as they're
Yeah.
in there, I'm fine with it. Number 9, Resident Evil 4. I've never played fully through Resident Evil 4. Never played fully through it. I have played a good amount of it, but never played fully through it. But it is a fucking fantastic game. Another one with a remaster recently that was apparently very, very good.
Yeah, from what I've heard. Sorry, I checked out for a second.
No, you're good.
From everything I've heard about the remaster, they made it better in a lot of ways. Like they upgraded a lot of things in terms of like graphically and things like that, and it's smoother. And things that they added didn't take away.
Mhm.
Add something. Obviously, if they're going to ask you to pay another $60, $70, they better
Yes.
fucking add something.
Well, and the thing is to go on the remakes of Resident Evil real quick. Resident Evil 2, the remake of that was fantastic. It was really fucking good. Resident Evil 3, not so much. They cut out too much. It wasn't what it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Resident Evil 4, they redeemed themselves.
They learned their lesson.
And made it good again.
Yeah.
But weird what happened with Resident Evil 3, to be completely honest. I think they're going to actually do 5, which is interesting. But 4 is beloved in the series, as it should be. I think it's really...
I think it's probably the best one.
It's probably the best one. It's either really 4 or 2. Some people stump for 1 a lot because 1's fucking good.
The nostalgia of 1 is kind of what setting the stage and
you got to remember 1
story.
is really good because it's really cramped. It's
Yes.
it's true horror, but
it's horror and it has such a good the plot line it follows is fantastic.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in a horror film
the
whole time.
Yep.
It's really good.
Blood. I hope this is not Chris's blood. Anyway, Resident Evil 4, great fucking game. Happy to see it on the list. At one point, I need to play the remake, but we'll get to that. Penumbra Black Plague. I don't think I played Black Plague. I remember playing a Penumbra game. I cannot remember which one. I think I have a bunch on Steam.
I've never played a Penumbra game. I've heard good things about
Penumbra's fucking good.
Fun.
Penumbra's really, really good.
Yes.
But good to see this on here. If you want scares, go to Penumbra Games. Good games. Condemned Criminal Origins. One I didn't finish, but one I played a good amount of.
It's so good.
Yes. And It's survival horror, but it's also just fucking difficult.
Yep.
It's
Condemned's
also just
really hard.
difficult. But Condemned is a really fun game. Really fun
But
game
again, we
to
talked about it. It's difficult, and you still want to play it.
yeah. Yeah. And the fighting's good. And it is genuinely scary. I
Mhm.
remember like first picking up the flashlight. I can't, it's like jogging slightly, having to go through the doors, and you know someone's like around the area, and then you first pick up the flashlight and shit. And but it's Condemned is a great horror game. I might have to go back and play that at some point. I remember we had it.
We did.
I can't remember. I don't know where it is because it's not with me right now, and I have the 360. But next is Silent Hill 2, another one just got a remake. Legendary. There's not really much to say. I've never actually played through it. I
Actually
need to.
offensive how low it is. That it's not higher.
Yeah, I
Silent
know
Hill
it's
2
6.
should be in like the
Yeah.
top 3.
Yes.
It should be in the top 3. It's that good.
Top 2 probably.
Top probably. It is, and like you said, similar to some of the other games there.
Mhm.
Outside of just being a good horror game, this is a high ranked game
Mhm.
in all time games list. Period. Along with
Yes.
Dead Space, along with Condemned.
Mhm.
You wouldn't see Penumbra on many top lists,
Mhm.
but those 3 specifically, Condemned, Silent Hill, and especially Dead Space, like those 3 are
On Resident Evil 4.
Resident
like
Evil
all
4,
these
4,
are huge
yeah.
fucking games.
For the most part, they're just really good games. So it is surprising that
Penumbra is one of the ones that comes to me like I probably told you about this game. It wasn't a big game. It was Cry of Fear.
yes.
Cry of Fear is fucking great horror game, but most people aren't going to know it unless they've been on the internet and have actually either played a bit of it or watched
Yeah.
someone play it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, but it's one of those games. That's what it reminds me of. While the other ones are big, they're mainstream horror games and
Mhm.
they're classics for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, not much to say about Silent Hill 2.
Just
Everyone knows about it. Pyramid Head's fucking terrifying. The nurses are terrifying. And I love the fact that it's always brought up with the fog in Silent Hill. And the fog is to help it load.
There was
so
a
you don't
parent
recognize it.
last year that went and walked around trick or treating as Pyramid Head.
Really?
It's fucking terrifying.
That's incredible. I love that.
I've always wanted to sit there and walk around as Jackal from 13 Ghosts.
Oh my god.
Jackal's fucking amazing.
You would have some people be like, holy shit. Like they would get a fucking
As
hit.
my hair gets longer, I need it to get a little bit longer, and I can
Yeah.
be Jackal.
They would get a shock to their fucking system because they wouldn't have thought of 13 Ghosts in a long time. And as soon as they saw you, they would
What a
just pop in their head.
solid movie.
Yeah.
What a
Next
solid
is
that was.
next is Manhunt. I've never played it. Heard a lot about it. Have you played it at all?
I played it over at my buddy's house. I think Steve had this. And the reason why it's because we were kind of eating up anything Rockstar at the time.
Yep.
Because Rockstar had just finished dropping Vice City at this point. Maybe San Andreas. Go up again. What was the year?
2003.
So it was okay. So it was 3, and maybe Vice City had just come out. And Rockstar is also working on this, and they also had Bully out at the time too. So Rockstar was just fucking pushing games out, or maybe Bully came a
Might
few
have been
years
later. Might have been a little
not
bit
too much
later.
later.
Bully.
Bully was like
Yeah.
maybe 05 at the worst,
Yeah.
at the latest. But I think we got it because it had the R on it. Really good. It was a fun game. It was a
Mhm.
fun fucking game.
Yeah.
Another thriller game. We liked playing those games that you would just turn the fucking lights off. Your Resident Evils, your Silent Hills, and things like your Wolfensteins.
Mhm.
You turn the fucking lights off. You play those at night. Those were the sleepover games. You played those, like you'll play
Yep.
Madden. You would do all that during the day.
Yep.
Then when it got fucking dark, you'd play those games.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. And I need to go back to play this at some point. Honestly, I want to play all these at some point. Obscure from 2004, high school turned into a nightmare.
never
I
played
have
this.
never, I don't even think I've heard of this.
Yeah, no, I've
to be
never heard of
completely honest.
Obscure.
I do want to read it. If there's anywhere you don't want sinister events to start unfolding, it's a high school. But that's exactly where the eerie atmosphere of Obscure is set in. A group of students is trapped in a high school, and one of them goes missing, and things quickly escalate into a fight for survival. You basically have a flashlight and a gun to survive. But unlike most survival horror games at a time that focus on solo journeys, you can team up with a friend to play Obscure. That's interesting.
Pretty cool.
That's really cool.
I
It's
wonder
really
if that's on
interesting.
Steam.
And I mean, it looks just from this, it looks like it could be a fun game. To be completely honest,
Yeah,
like I said, I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to
you should
sink
get some
time
of your
into it.
friends to fucking go play it.
Yeah, and it would be a good time. Doom 3,
so good.
awesome game,
Best in the series.
awesome fucking game.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm on Mars. Let's go. Anyway,
I mean, you always use the code to get the fucking plasma gun and just fucking kill things easily.
But Doom 3, incredible. Like I said, not much to say on Doom 3, to be completely honest. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. It is a beloved game, and it should be. And I'm happy that it's up here. I would be interested in doing this top 10 over again. I don't know if it's above some of these.
No.
I
You know,
don't
you
know
know,
if
I
it's
don't know
above-
why. Because scroll down, Dave. Scroll down. Because no, go up a little bit.
Yep.
The reason why is read right there. It's fighting in a survival in a dark world.
Well,
The research facility is not dark and spooky. It's fucking pitch black.
Yeah,
Little
that's true.
flashlight.
That's
that comes
true.
in
That's
it.
true.
So it's you. And when you shot,
Yeah.
unlike other games, Dave,
Yeah.
when you shot in this game, as the flashlight moved, the light didn't stay perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as you're shooting,
Mhm.
you're trying to hit these fucking things
That's true.
squinting at you,
It's true.
and they're getting closer with each
Yeah.
thing. Like
Mhm.
it was pretty fucking bad. Dude.
Yeah.
It got because you're hearing them too. They're going
Mhm.
like around the corner, and you're like,
Yeah.
I know which one that is. Running, leg it. So yeah, actually, I'm getting flashbacks of being terrified of that. Fucking I'm getting PTSD of Doom 3.
It's a great list, man.
Oh, it's really good.
Next, we have The Suffering. One I'd never played. I've heard about it. Can you find Redemption? Is Death Row?
Kind of looks terrifying from that.
Yeah, I'm going to read it over. The Suffering takes you through the halls of Abbott State Penitentiary as a death row inmate. Already a good start.
Yep.
But before you know it, a monstrous outbreak occurs and the prison is overrun with terrifying creatures. You have to fight your way through the chaos to uncover the truth about your past. Each monster in The Suffering represents a different form of execution or
That's so
torture you
cool.
face. For instance, monsters like Slayers, whose limbs are embedded with blades, mean you will be decapitated to death. That's fucking awesome.
That's a great concept.
That's really cool. Yet again, I might bookmark this just to go and find games to play. I'm dead serious.
All these fucking games. You just love horror in general, though.
Yes, that's true. But I mean, they make for some really, really fun games, really intense gameplay.
Yeah.
Sometimes really frustrating gameplay, but that just depends.
Yeah.
But
most of these games are going to be hard.
yes,
Horror
because they
games are
should.
not easy. They are hard because here's the thing: they want you to die in those.
Yes.
games. They want you to experience that terror right
Mhm.
before the fucking thing hacks you down.
Mhm.
So they are difficult by default. And that's
Yes. And finally, Forbidden Siren 2, 2006. How do you get past enemies who can't be killed? That's a great byline.
Forbidden Siren.
I
Game.
never played this. I never played it.
1 is really good. 2 is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and we'll go through real quick just to recap the paragraph here. Forbidden Siren 2 is not one of those classics that heavily rely on jump scares. Instead, creating a constant sense of dread with slow burn tension. Yep, that's awesome. You have to do everything you can to not fall prey to monsters called the Shibito. These enemies are unlike your average zombies and can't be killed, so get ready for relentless pursuit.
Yep.
What I like most about Forbidden Siren 2 is that you can sight jack. This allows you to see through the eyes of your enemies. It's like playing hide and seek, but with the added horror of seeing your character through the monster's eyes. That's fucking cool.
Concepts. That game was true. It was another one that was truly terrifying because finding out you can't kill them is not fun in the beginning.
Also,
and finding out that you just need to fucking run. You don't engage.
Yeah. But that's made like Outlast is something you don't engage in Outlast. You cannot engage in Outlast, and that's a more recent one. It's not game difficulties. This is top 10 horror games of 2000s from Hardcore Gamer. Just want to go over this because I thought it would be fun. And real quick, this screen cap right here. Have you ever heard of a YouTube video called My House Tour?
No.
I'm going to show you, not the full thing. It's probably too long to completely watch. It is a horror video on YouTube.
And Mosen, what's up? Welcome back. We appreciate you jumping back in.
My House Walkthrough, sorry. Yeah, it is 12 minutes long. I'm just going to go over the first part of it.
What are you exposing us to, you weirdo?
Oh, this is a pretty big video. A lot like this has been shared around. I love this. I love horror. You know that.
I know you do.
So I want to share any good ones, but there's no jump scares in this, and it might remind you of something that was recently a game that didn't get actually greenlit like fully, but.
These are the worst because when you're expecting something to happen, it's so fun. That creates the terror.
Yes.
And that looks exactly like what we just fucking
That's
saw.
why I said, that's why I wanted to show it, because it looks so much like it.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, I'm scared. That's the thing.
Wait, there's going to be a certain point I'm going to stop.
Oh, wait, there's
Give me a
more.
second.
There's nothing okay about this. Is it okay? It's funny, I dislike this horror more because it's like too real. I'd rather watch a movie.
Real tense, man.
I'd rather watch a horror movie because I know it's a fucking movie.
I just want to get to a certain point.
Why do you hate me? The metronome knocking. The house is fucking gross. I really live there. Terrible way to live. Maybe for Dave. I do have to say this. Make this is awesome. This is so don't like it.
I said don't like it. So, if you haven't noticed, I won't let it continue on. It is like PT in the fact that he opens that door and it's the same area, but things start changing and things start changing, and he keeps saying the same thing in some ways they change. Fucking fantastic video.
Very well done.
The fact that he was even skeeving you out and I'm right here watching it with you shows how effective it is.
Oh yeah, no, it was a skeevy fucking video.
And he actually has a making of it. He has a making of it video too, where it shows us the whole back of making everything. And it's like the joyous video. He has this nice music on. You can see nothing scary about the making of it, but the final product is incredible YouTube work.
So Parasite Eve creeped me out back in the day. The opening scene in the Opera Theater scarred me at 9 years old. I've never played Parasite Eve.
I don't even heard of Parasite.
Keep bringing on these
Another
fucking
one.
things for David to play.
Yes, I would honestly. I should probably play fucking games leading up to Halloween. Just play horror games.
Well, I mean, if we get David to play more games, maybe we'll have David can actually start using his own his channel to do a plays type of thing.
And I do want to
become a plays channel.
I do want to bring up to you that video is from 8 years ago. He made that 8 years ago.
Good horror transcends.
It doesn't matter when. Yes.
Because here's the thing: getting the feeling of terror. It doesn't matter if it's from the fucking 1920s or now. You can make things that are off-putting. And the thing about that video, it wasn't necessarily scary. It just
felt wrong.
Awful. Thing is, it was the knocking. It was that
the typhoon going around.
That was it. It was the knock. Actually, going through like the dark and thing like that's whatever. It was the constant. That was like kind of in rhythm, but kind of not.
And it just felt like something was wrong. Felt like something was.
They should have been murdered. Felt like there should have been something there.
But yeah. Didn't expect to go there at the end of that list, but those are 10 classics from the 2000 classic.
And it did remind me a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that screen cap it's shot right into my mind, that video.
Definitely.
But yeah.
I wish I didn't know that now.
You should watch the full thing, man. It's great. Have your wife watch it with you, scare her with it.
No, I will
but
not.
like I said, that also is reminiscent of PT. I don't know if you saw PT. So Silent Hill PT was a demo, first off, from Del Toro, and I want to say it was Kojima.
Really?
I think it was them. I could be wrong. Please correct me.
Okay.
But it was similar aspect, and you're walking through this basically just a hallway, and weird shit happens when you go through the door every time, and it reveals like the history and all that stuff behind why you're kind of going through that hallway, and there is a scary entity in that fucking game. It's terrifying.
Silent
But
Hill.
it was just a demo. And then never saw the light of day. And PT was Kojima. Yes, thank you. I was pretty sure it's Kojima and Del Toro. But yes, and it just never saw the light of day. And now it's just a legend of gaming where it's just like anything that does that cycle kind of stuff. Everyone like it's just called PT at this point.
Maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe there's still time. So I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, I was just
we were
doing
both
it too.
looking at go, Dave. You got it.
Okay.
The new Silent Hill is apparently
I've heard.
spectacular and quite spooky. I'm probably going to get it. Yeah.
Yep. I have heard. And I am interested in getting it as well. I need to get my money up a little bit more.
It was before Konami and Kojima beefed over how long he was taking on Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean,
yep.
That was honestly the worst thing Konami did was getting Kojima out of there and fucking destroying their best franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I know Konami has a lot of good franchises they do, but the Metal Gear franchise was easily probably their most lucrative and successful, which is why they were mad that they wanted it to get out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't rush Hideo Kojima. And I know Razor Fist will disagree with me, saying he's a hack. We disagree rarely on this, Razor. We're gonna fucking disagree if we ever talk. But Kojima's fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I might have to play some horror games. Find some and play them because I love them. But I will there will be more horror every single day. I will bring some kind of horror element into the show.
I like
especially because Halloween's right around the corner.
Spooky doo. Death Stranding is goofy.
It is goofy. I enjoy a good amount of it, mainly because it's just like you could just play it and zone the fuck out.
Yeah.
But it is really goofy. The story's goofy. Story's fucking weird.
I mean, Kojima's doing a new project. We talked about that. We covered that a few weeks ago.
Yes. Well, Death Stranding 2 is going to be a thing, and there's a couple new things he wants to do, but that was from a bit ago.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Now that he's free from his shackles, he can kind of enjoy himself and do whatever the fuck he wants, which I imagine he had free reign for a little while there, and then they reined him in, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the question is because while I enjoyed Death Stranding, a lot of people, it was mixed. Death Stranding's very mixed. So it is the question where it's a lot of creatives get, where do you need some of those shackles sometimes in order so you don't go a little too crazy on what you're making, and then people just don't enjoy it. And it doesn't reach the audience it needs to reach in order for you to continue making stuff.
And the thing is, we've seen Kojima experiment and be successful, right? Like I always go back to Raiden. Raiden should not have been successful from a franchise that Solid Snake is beloved. Everyone wanted Solid Snake. He was the star of it. You saw Metal Gear Solid, you thought Solid Snake, and then here's this fucking white bleachish blondish hair motherfucker coming around, and it's like, whoa, we don't like him. And then everyone loved him.
So the new project, so there is Death Stranding 2. He talked about that. The one with Jordan Peele, the one that was hinted at, I think it had a small trailer. It looked weird.
Yeah.
But I think that's the next after Death Stranding 2. And then after that, it was some kind of psychic thing. I can't remember. I'd have to pull up the article again. It was a big article. But it had everything that Kojima was talking about. He does want to do movie stuff, but he said he wanted to situate and really cement IPs before he does kind of stuff like that.
Which is smart.
Yeah. So he wants to get his gaming down. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's Death Stranding 2.
Because I'd imagine he doesn't have any right to anything from Metal Gear at this point.
No, he doesn't.
Not even use any of the thing is
no.
Can't use any of that, which he had some great characters and stuff in there.
Yes. But it's Death Stranding 2, the project with Jordan Peele, and then some next thing which sounded interesting. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's some kind of like psychic thing. It was he made it sound like he was trying to be really fucking innovative. So it could be really good or really bad, to be completely honest with you.
We'll see. But, you got to take a chance.
Yeah.
But all right. Speaking of taking chances, we're going to take the chance to get the fuck out of here. We're going to pull one of these.
Fuck out!
Maybe that could be the way we leave every single time. We just got to play Ari telling us to get the fuck out. But that could be a good meme. But yeah, anyway, we appreciate everyone.
Real quick. Yes. Yeah.
I
Well,
was just
to be
thinking
fair,
Psycho Man.
I can't remember it.
I remember it
I've watched it,
clearly.
but I remember the MGS2 nonsense,
Yep.
MGS3 crazy shit.
And
So like
even
other Metal Gear stuff I remember. Technically, I wasn't born. I wasn't the one that played it when that
Nope.
happened. So
the Psycho Manus reading your memory card was just fucking weird. And and the things that they did were like amazing. And Kojima adding all that type of stuff was so much fun. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up again, Mosin. If you want to see some cool stuff on Metal Gear, I'm gonna bring you over to our buddy Epic Mike. He's played through 1, 2, and 3. I think he's gonna finish 4 and 5 at some point.
yeah,
I
he's
think
gonna
he took a
play
break,
through
took a hiatus.
He's doing Resident Evil 2, and
Yeah,
he
took a
started
break.
Amnesia. I don't know if he's going to continue Amnesia.
He should not. He does not like scary things. We should send him that fucking list and be like, play all of these.
Yes.
He will cry.
Yeah.
But
let's
overall, no, I will send you Mosin if you're interested. Go over to Epic Mike. He did because he's never played the Metal Gears, so you're seeing a
His
legitimately
reactions are good.
reaction and blind playthrough, and he's been thoroughly enjoying the games. So I recommend if you want to get some down memory lane stuff, you'll watch it. And Mike is legitimately good at gaming, so you're not going to watch a guy that sucks play it. Don't go watch Beardo try to play it. Beardo was fucking was terrible at Metal Gear Solid.
Junkie. He's
Yes!
in the right spot.
One of us. But yeah, most and I definitely head over there because it was fun. You'll see me interacting with Meek, and we bullied Epic Mike a few times, so you'll laugh about that as well. So everyone, we appreciate you all for coming in. Nate, McGiggles, Mosin, McSquiggles. McSquiggles. Nate, McSquiggles, Mosin. We appreciate it. Can I link?
You got it. I can try.
Go ahead, throw it in there, Dave. Dave's gonna throw in the link as I do my preamble to get out of here. So we appreciate everyone for jumping in. We appreciate everyone that watched on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. You know what to do on all those. Give us a repost, a share, follow, smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate it all. We'll be back tomorrow night. We're going to talk about some more fun stuff. We're supposed to have an awesome guest tomorrow, so hopefully that continues to go through, and then it usually posts the guest show. We'll be back here. We always intend on doing like an hour post the guest, but then we go for like 17. And we're up until like 3 a.m. And then my wife wonders why I even came to bed because I woke her up. And that's usually how that fucking cycle goes. But how you doing over there, Dave? You struggling?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. You're going to throw it in there?
That
Beautiful.
should be it right there. That is the link to the Metal Gear Solid first playthrough part 1.
Okay. So if you have that there, you put it in the chat.
Yeah, I put it in YouTube chat.
All right. Perfect. All right. Anyway, so we're going to get out of here. I hope you guys were all entertained. If not, we'll try better tomorrow. And we will fail because we suck at this. Because that's what our one hater came in the other day and told us that we suck at this and we need to quit YouTube. So because that guy told us to quit YouTube, we're coming back. Anyway,